What we got here is a 1965 6 horsepower, which isn't the prettiest looking thing, but man, it is seriously reliable. Anyway, it's my nephew's motor, and he is a young boater. And the challenge with these older motors is there's no kill switch and there's no lanyard. So that is the mission I'm on today. So part one, the way to install a kill switch on these points motors is that you need to take the flywheel off, obviously, and then you drill a small hole right there, and you poke through 2 wires through there. I happen to have some in sheath, in this nice tough sheath. I would say you probably do want to put sheath around the wire and extend the sheath through the stator plate so that when you turn the throttle, if the wires rub a little bit, at least they're not going to chafe. It'll just be the sheath will give it some protection. So when you're installing, when you're drilling the hole, don't do the same dumb thing I did and drill a hole near the outside, because when you put the flywheel back on, the flywheel just passes, there's like a millimeter between this surface and the flywheel, which means obviously that's no good. It's got to be inside that line. So you can see here, even I've cut it close with my tie wrap. I'm hopeful that that tie wrap will not rub, but you can see the indentation goes right down to there, which is almost in line with the tie wrap, but it needs to be inside that line. So if you look from above, the wires are inside, which is just fine. Where you connect them is to each points circuit. So you put a connector on the end, unscrew the point, attach the connector to the first coil, run the second wire. I kind of tucked it underneath this coil wire so that it won't fly around. Again, you unscrew the flathead, add this connector to the 2 that are already on that point, and that's all you have to do under the flywheel. Once you've done that, once you've made sure both of these wires will not chafe, will not get in the way of the flywheel, you can put the flywheel back on. I'd say put a little tie wrap here just to make sure that the wires don't pull around or don't come in and out over time. Okay, and as far as selecting a kill switch, you need to select a switch that has multiple poles, first of all, and this one does the trick. You'll notice there are 2 M designations on the top and bottom terminals, and I on left and right. My understanding is M is for magneto, so when the stop switch is not activated, these are not connected. So connect both magnetos to both M's, and then I'm going to connect one of the I terminals to a ground source, and I'm hopeful that does the trick. As far as how to put the connectors on, I've got these crimp connectors, but what I also do to prevent corrosion is just put a bunch of dielectric grease inside the terminal before you crimp it, and on the cable end itself, on the wire end itself. That'll help keep it clean over time. I'm going to use one of these, I don't know what these are called. What are they? I think they're step bits or something. Anyway, that's what I'm using, and I think I'm going to about here to make this hole, and hopefully that does the trick. So put some on the cable, and put some on the wire there, and then what you do is squeeze some right into there. There you go. Okay, all done. So here's the kill switch. View inside. Here's where I placed it outside. And what you do, 2 of the wires need to come up to the 2 wires that were run from underneath the starter plate, and the third wire gets connected to a good ground. Doesn't really matter where you connect it, but this was actually an empty, it was a threaded hole, so I was able to put a bolt right on there. And again, the 2 wires coming from the starter plate, they go to the 2M terminals on the kill switch. The ground goes to the one of the 2I terminals on here. And you should be good to go. I've tested this, it works great, and should make for some safer boating for youngsters on the fishing boat. Hope this helps someone out there.